directly from Let's Eat Malaysian. Today I'll teach you how to do a Chinese fried rice. Now my fried rice for today, I'm using brown rice. You can use white rice, okay, medium white rice or fragrant rice. But if you're using white rice, normally what we do is that we boil the rice with less water, and we will keep that rice overnight in the fridge. Now if you use a normal amount of water to boil your white rice, it tends to be a bit more sticky, and it's not good when you do a fried rice because it will be turn out to be clumps. Now brown rice, I did this morning, and brown rice, it's nicer because the texture, it's you can get the what you call bits of it, you know, hard little bits of it that you can chew on. But some people don't like to have brown rice, so it's up to you what rice you want. I'm doing brown rice because my family loves this, and I have here 1 1/3 cups that I boiled earlier on. I have 1 big onion that I've diced up, 3 big cloves of garlic that I've coarsely chopped, 1/6 piece of a prawn cube or prawn stock. I've got 1 carrot coarsely chopped. Now I won't recommend you using frozen carrots. Use it fresh, it tastes better. I've got 1 Chinese cheong that I've sliced thinly, 120 to 150 grams of pork, as lean as possible. There's just a bit of fat here. And what you do is that you just marinate it with a bit of soy sauce and corn flour to tenderize the meat. I've got 100 grams of minced pork, 4 banana prawns that I've shelled, deveined, and chopped fine. Now before I do the dish, I'm going to add in omelette. So I'll teach you how to prepare your omelette first. 2 eggs. What you do is you break it into the bowl. Beat it up with a fork or your egg beater. Now you don't have to really beat it until it's frothed up, just as long as it's well mixed up, the yolk and the white. Now I'm going to add some soy sauce, probably about more or less a teaspoon. A few dashes of pepper. And Chinese xing wine, Chinese rice wine. Oops, it doesn't matter because I love Chinese xing wine, but you can put about a teaspoon. I'm not really bothered about how much wine, because when you cook it, the wine will sort of disappear in the Chinese, in the fried rice. So okay, you leave this and we will fry this up. Light your fire, and I'm going to use cooking spray. I'm quite sure most of you all know how to fry an omelette. So medium flame. And this is a non-stick pan. I want to make the omelette as thin as possible because I'm going to cut it into strips or dice up the omelette in the end and then mix it into the fried rice. The reason I'm not going to fry the rice and hit a fresh egg inside because it'll become sticky. Your fried rice will become sticky and wet. So let's see. Try to spread it out on the pan to get it as thin as possible. Now if you think your fire is a bit too big, you can always lower it a bit. Nah? You don't want to get a black omelette. And let it cook so that when you turn, you won't get those what do you call it, the omelette that is still wet. So I'm trying to get it as well cooked on top before I flip it over. And it's good to use a non-stick pan when you're doing omelettes. Okay, so it's more or less firm, hard, so I'm going to cut this into half because sometimes it's hard to flip when it's such a big piece. So I'm going to cut it into another. See, it's nice and pretty. Now you don't have to worry that you've broken your omelette because in the end, when it's done and it's cool, you're going to cut it into, dice up your omelette. This will eventually go into your fried rice before you bring it up. So, once both sides is about this golden color, then you can put it on a plate and set it aside and start with your fried rice. Before I fry up the fried rice, the brown rice in this pot, I'm going to loosen it with chopsticks. Don't use anything that is metal because you will scratch your rice pot. Light the fire and I always use medium flame. And what you're going to do is you fry up your cheong first, your Chinese sausage. So yeah, just about less than a tablespoon of oil. Proceed to fry your Chinese sausage. What I want is that the Chinese sausage to brown a little bit, and it's quite quick. You can already smell it from now. The Chinese sausage smell coming out, and you can see it's bubbling, and the sides of each piece is starting to be crispy. I believe that different gas cookers, the flame is different, so I'm putting it right to low. To add my garlic. I'm going to brown my garlic, and I've added in my prawn stock. Just Give it a few quick stirs and then you can add your onion and your carrot. The reason I'm doing your carrot is because carrot takes a while to cook. I don't want it totally soft, but I want it to be a bit crunchy. So I am going to put in my carrots as well. And as you can see, it is coarsely diced because I like to be able to bite on it. Now it's on a very small flame, so I'll raise it to a bit more or less medium cut. Now I'm going to add some chicken stock, about half a teaspoon. Now you can see your onion is turning translucent. You can now top in your meat. I'll start with putting in your pork, your diced pork. Let it be a bit half cooked before you add in your mince and your prawns. Then you can then add your seasoning. I don't think there's a such thing as time. It all depends on the quantity of ingredients you have in your pan. Just look as you go. I do believe that in cookbooks, the time they use is it's a guideline. So once you learn how to cook, you will sort of know roughly when to put in each ingredient. So I can see it is partly cooked, not done yet. So as the pork is turning color, it is still partly cooked, but then it's going to cook more because you have to put in your prawn and your mince. Prawn and mince goes in. A few quick stirs and you can now start to add in your other ingredients. About half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of sugar. And lower the fire so that you don't burn it. Okay. These are chili flakes. They're not that hot, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon of chili flakes. Now if you don't like chili, you don't have to put them in. It's optional. Now half a teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice. Now you can raise your fire to low to medium and continue to stir all this in. Drop in 2 or 3 drops of sesame oil. Okay, now you can put in your rice. Your peas will go in last. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just leave the rice here, lower the fire to small because I want to chop up my omelette. The omelette has now cooled off, so I'm going to do a quick chop. So I'm going to dice it up roughly. This will be stirred into the fried rice. Leave it there, go back to your rice. Raise the fire back to medium and continue to cook. Now mix your rice thoroughly inside. A little bit of black pepper. It's almost done, so I can lower the fire to test for taste. Yep, it's good. Now you can put in your peas. I normally like to use baby peas because they tend to be sweeter. But these are actually normal peas. And you don't really have to cook your peas. You can, just eat them raw. Just stir it in. And lastly, you put in your omelette. Now, some of you all would like to just top it on your rice before you scoop it up as a decoration. You can do that too. Now, if you find that your dish is not salty enough, I would normally add soy sauce. But it's fine. So, just nice for me. Okay, it's done. Well, my family has already tried a tasting of it first, and they say it's wonderful, which is really good. So I hope you will try this recipe. It's quick, it's easy, and if you like it, please like my YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.